Welcome everybody, or Grüezi miteinander, as we say here in Zurich. I am in Zurich today in the Breitling boutique at the famous Bahnhofstraße here in Zurich. The reason why we are at Breitling today is because I want to answer some questions many people these days are asking me. They say, Alexander, what's happening with Breitling? Where is the brand heading to? What the hell is Georges Kern, the new CEO, doing with our traditional old Breitling brand? And I'm telling you exactly what he's doing. He's changing the brand. He has pressed kind of a reset button. And he figured out that so far Breitling was probably a brand that was focusing on, if we take an entire cake, 20% of people were attracted by the watches of Breitling. These watches were black, big, martial, really tough, rough watches. This is a little book they did in the meantime, showing the entire history of Breitling, and most of this book or the history inside was literally ignored. And this side is the vintage side. It's the side of being more elegant, more accessible for people with a smaller wrist, a watch that is sporty, elegant, that goes in a totally different direction. And all of a sudden the brand is opening up to 100% and being interesting now for also a wider and bigger audience than ever before. This is why I'm doing this video today with you, the two videos presenting you on the one hand side the Breitling 8 Navitimer 8 collection, and on the other hand side the Breitling Premier collection. Have fun with the videos, and don't forget to give me your opinion after you saw the videos by writing a little comment underneath here. So guys, in the picture we see, I would say, the most iconic watch Breitling ever manufactured so far. That's the famous Navitimer. And why do I pronounce it Navitimer? This has, of course, a purpose. It's not a Navy timer, guys. That watch has nothing to do with the American Navy or what Navy ever. It's a Navitimer. And why is it called Navitimer? Because it has a sliding rule. So an 8 that was manufactured for pilots in the 50s. Breitling started to manufacture this watch. It has a sliding rule and helped pilots for their navigation purposes. So this is the most iconic Breitling watch, and you see it's also a big watch. It's 46 millimeters, quite huge, with the in-house B01 movement. Another example of Breitling so far, the famous Avenger watch, 48 millimeters, a watch made out of carbon, really a huge watch. It's like a little pizza on your wrist. And this was the typical Breitling style, oversized watches, and let's say a really big statement on your wrist. A watch for heavy duty purposes, probably if you go, I don't know, on any rough or tough mission outside of your personal surroundings. That's the back of the watch. Breitling Avenger carbon watch. And there's one I want to show you. Do you remember the watch? It's the famous Breitling Emergency. The watch will stay in the collection, of course, but it is a watch that shows where Breitling was before. Huge, big. The watch has an inbuilt emergency locator transmitter, ELT. There is a screw you unwind, you pull out an antenna, and the watch will then start to send a signal so rescue teams can find you in case of you get lost or are you in danger. But look, thick, and that was Breitling so far. Now let's jump over to a collection that is called Navitimer 8. So the first collection, Georges Kern, when he took over Breitling, presented us and to his new customers was the Breitling Navitimer 8 or 8. It is let's say, combination of the style of the Navitimer and the look of the board instruments Breitling manufactured in the 1940s for pilots. And it was an own department Breitling had in-house. It was called 8, the French word for 8. And you see the typical style of these watches and how they did a reinterpretation in these days in the new collection Navitimer 8. And this is what we are going to see right now. So in the picture, the Navitimer 8 chronograph B01 43 millimeters. B01 indicates that it is using an in-house Breitling movement. You can also easily discover the fact that it is an in-house movement due to the fact that you have two colors on the dial. So if the subdials as you see in the picture, are in a different color than the rest of the dial, then it is an in-house movement. Now guys, some of you criticized how can Breitling dare to call such a watch Navitimer 8. My question is to you guys, why not? You take elements of the Navitimer look and you bring it together with the look of that 8 collection, that collection of pilots' watches that was done in the 1940s, and you have a nice looking, gorgeous, much more refined, much more elegant, vintage inspired look of a chronograph than you had with the Navitimer with his sliding rule. There's of course no sliding rule here. If you prefer to go for the watch in red gold, this watch is heavy. Jesus Christ. If you compare both, it's like if you were in the fitness studio. This is a really heavy piece of gold, of course, 18 karat red gold, and a execution of the Navitimer 8 that is available also on worn on a nicely and perfectly looking leather bracelet, and the watch has a regular folding clasp also executed in 18 karat gold. And now let's take away the in-house movements and quickly bring you the version with the Valjoux. So as always, Breitling has the offer to get the watch with a non-in-house movement. That's the version with the Valjoux or Sellita SV500 or Valjoux 7750. The advantage in this case is that you do also have the indication of the day and the date. You have Monday the 8th, and you have the counters in the same tone as the rest of the dial. So for you, that's the easiest way to recognize in the future if you are wearing a Breitling with an in-house movement or not. So you see the difference. This two-tone, meaning different tones or different colors for the subdials, indicate you an in-house movement, and if it's all tone in tone, you will see that this is the Valjoux. Nice watch with a really massive metal bracelet that makes the watch a little bit bulky, but still a very wearable and nice timepiece. And of course, you can also wear the watch with a beautiful leather strap, and this is a much more refined watch. And depending on the watch style you like or on the purpose you are going to wear the watch, this is your choice end of the day. So 2 versions of the chronograph with a Valjoux 7750 or Sellita SV500. Of course, the Navitimer 8 collection also offers you some, let's say, less complicated watches or simpler watches or simply freehand watches, because we also have a small second. This is the automatic, is the, let's say, also entry price level of that collection, but a very nice, also quite thin in the sense of perfect fit on your wrist watch with a closed case bottom with the logo Navitimer 8. You can see it. That's the combination of both legendary collections of Breitling, the 8 and 8. And if this is not enough for you in the sense of you would like to have more indications on the dial, they have a version with a day-date indication. So you have the indication of the day, Monday, and the date 8. So here Monday the 8th, and a small second, you have a small second, and of course our indication. Also quite thin in the sense of yes, it will fit on your wrist. It is not a bulky watch, in contrary, that's a very elegant watch. Also here case bottom with the famous Breitling 8 logo on it, and it clearly says certifié chronomètre, meaning they are all. And this is not only for this watch, for all the entire Breitling collection. Breitling certifies all its watches, either mechanical or quartz, as a official Swiss certified chronometer. So the Swiss Chronometer Testing Institute gets the movements for 14 days before they are encased in the Breitling manufacture in La Chaux-de-Fonds. So they are tested by the COSC in Switzerland and certified as a Swiss chronometer. So you have the guarantee that these watches already have proven to be accurate. And this is in the picture the beautiful blue execution. The one for me, probably, as you guys know, meanwhile, I love blue. And if you are more into black, there is a black version. Still the same watch, and also to compare here with the metal bracelet. So the leather strap, perfectly executed with that white stitching, taking again the color of the Arabic numerals on the dial. I prefer the one in blue with that white stitching, but okay, tastes are different, and as we say in Latin, de gustibus non est disputandum, and we are not going to discuss tastes here. This is a watch we have seen before at Breitling. It is a watch that would, besides of the local time, indicate you the time in 23 different zone times. I do say zone time and not time zone. Why do I say this? Because a time zone is an area on the earth where you have a specific zone time. So here in Switzerland, we are in the time zone of Paris. And in the time zone of Paris, the zone time is 10 o'clock, and it would be the zone time in Great Britain. Actually, GMT would be 9 o'clock, just to make you an example. So there is a little difference in between zone time and time zone. We're living in a time zone, but the time indicated on your watch is, of course, the zone time and not the time zone. The time zone is where we live. You have 10 o'clock here. You see that it is 10 o'clock also indicated here, and if you would like to read the time from the different other cities indicated on the dial, you would just have to look around, and for instance, if it is 10 o'clock during the day in, where are we here? We are in, I have to look, New York, it's 9 o'clock, and we have here Puerto Rico, 10 o'clock, and for instance, then it will be 11 o'clock in Tokyo in the evening, so you don't have to think very much, you just have to look on your dial and you get all the indications necessary. That's the Breitling 8 Unitime, an interesting watch if you travel a lot and if you need to have indicated different zone times in different time zones. Of course, want to show you the watches once again and inform you about the prices. So starting here, the 18 karat red gold version of the B01 edition, meaning the edition with the in-house movement. This watch is sold for 19,500 Swiss francs, always including 8% VAT. If you are more into the steel version with an alligator, with a nice alligator strap, the chronograph still with the B01 movement, this one is sold for 7,500 Swiss francs. And if you like the style of the watch, but you don't necessarily need or want the in-house movement, and you say, okay, I'm fine with a Valjoux, and on top I like the fact that the date and the day are presented, and you see it here, then you can go for the same chronograph in an execution with a steel case and a steel bracelet for 5,500 Swiss francs. The black version is a little bit more expensive because it is a steel case that is black DLC treated, so it has a diamond-like carbon surface to blacken the watch, and this treatment is pretty expensive, so the price difference is not so big. The watch here in black with that calf bracelet is sold for 5,450 Swiss francs. The nice Unitime watch I explained you before, with the possibility of indicating you the zone times in 23 additional time zones around the world, is sold for 7,550 Swiss francs with that beautiful alligator strap. The date version, Monday and 8, day-date version of the Breitling Navitimer 8 with the steel bracelet is 4,200 Swiss francs, this one. If you think, no, that's not mine, I prefer a version with a calf skin, this one is the one I would recommend you. Anyhow, that's my favorite because it's a blue watch, and you know that, meanwhile, guys, but it's the blue one. And in the blue execution with that strap, it is sold for 3,850 Swiss francs. And to finish my little presentation also in terms of prices, so you know what you have seen, This is the DLC treated steel case, again diamond like carbon DLC treated case, and of course it's a little bit more expensive. It is sold for 3,950 Swiss francs. So this is the Breitling Navitimer 8 collection, and yes, I hope you like them as much as I do. I honestly have to say the new style of Breitling is not so bad at all. So guys, thank you very much for watching this little presentation. I'm at the Breitling boutique and I'm feeling quite home here. I think it's time to have a gin tonic now. I'm ready to go for a gin tonic. Thanks very much anyhow for watching, and I hope you enjoyed our little presentation of the new collections of Breitling, the Premier collection and the Navitimer 8. In case you like what we're doing, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and of course, and this is the most important thing, please leave your comments. Ask me whatever you want to ask me about the collections, about Breitling. I will be more than happy to answer. And yeah, so far, bye bye and cheers.